Border Force officers have stopped a man returning from a short trip to Vietnam.
The passenger was fidgety, he's sweaty, he's very nervous, which for us is a concern.
Experienced officers know that this type of behaviour often occurs when someone is attempting to carry drugs across the border.
Have you been in trouble with the police before?
Yeah.
Yeah? What for?
Something violent, something for the marijuana.
Marijuana? What with the marijuana? You growing? Selling?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yeah.
Did you go to jail?
Yeah.
How long for?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
And since then?
No.
So that was the last time you've been in trouble?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go and check now. I need to know that you've been honest.
Sorry?
I'm going to go and check now. I need to know that you've been honest.
Up to you. You want check, you go to check. Don't worry. I still waiting you.
You're still waiting me?
You go check.
I'll go check.
Officers are able to verify that the man has no additional convictions and will now proceed to inspect his luggage. A swab is taken from some items, including tea packets, to test for prohibited substances.
I'm only just going to see if there's anything of customs or immigration interest, okay?
A young Malaysian man arriving on a tourist visa has been taken aside by Australian Border Force officers as there is a concern that he may be trying to enter the country under false pretences.
You just travelling by yourself today?
Yes.
Yep. Your first time here?
Yep.
A search of the passenger's belongings will help in assessing if his claims are true, that he is here for just 1 week's holiday.
How long have you been in Australia for? 1 week?
A week.
Yep.
For refresh myself.
Okay.
While the bag search is completed, Officer Tim consults with his supervisor, who has already found some concerning text messages on the man's mobile, which are from an acquaintance back in Malaysia.
There's some very interesting information that we have extracted from the phone. Bosco, his friend, sends him a message last Friday. So Bosco asks him, where you go? He says, go Australia, work. Wow, you serious, eh? And it goes on, can't see you...
At least a few years.
At least a few years. And this is very incriminating, that he has told Bosco that he's going overseas, going to Australia, because he can't find a job and he won't be back for a few years.
Yeah.
I think he needs to come up with something fairly clever to get him dig his way out of there.
Yeah.
Armed with this information, Officer Tim will begin a formal interview, and he starts by asking Ken about his tourism plans.
What can you tell me about Sydney? What was it that you'd like to do or see in Australia?
Actually, it's my friend over here, so I thought just come here and then walk around and then don't want to think too much in the travel.
This particular friend, who are they?
It's called Sun Lee.
How do you know Sun?
Long time ago, she owed me money.
Okay, all right. So are you looking to collect this money on the trip?
If can.
Okay. I've found some information which does not support your reason for coming here to Australia being solely for tourism purposes, okay?
Okay.
Are you looking for job opportunities here in Australia?
Have you been in trouble with the police? Arrested?
Yeah.
Yeah?
This passenger returning from Vietnam has admitted to a prior conviction for growing and selling marijuana. Today, a swab taken from the contents of his luggage has tested positive for heroin and THC, which is the main chemical compound in marijuana.
Do you use drugs, mate?
Huh?
Do you use drugs?
No.
No? You saw the drug swab I had? It's come up for heroin.
Where?
Of these.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Well, it came up for heroin. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break a couple open. We're going to have a look, all right?
Yeah, yeah, of course. You want to break it. You want to break everywhere, everything.
A search of the man's bags fails to uncover any concealed drugs. That doesn't explain why the swab tested positive.
When was the last time you used drugs?
You drunk?
Yeah.
No, not you.
Never?
Yeah. No, I you, but not yesterday. Not time.
How long time?
I don't know. Couple weeks.
1
2
week?
months, 2 years before. I don't know.
The man has admitted to taking narcotics, but claims to not know when he last used. Officers are now concerned that he may be carrying drugs on his body and will conduct a frisk search.
Do you consent to the search? Do you agree to having the search done? Do you want it done here or in a private room?
Up to you.
You have to tell me which one you want.
Up to you. You want here, inside.
You are the one that tells me here or in the room? In the room? Okay. This officer will go in the room, okay?
While the passenger is searched, another alert is raised, which quickly turns officers' attention to a second passenger who is also returning from Vietnam on the same flight.
Iron scan tests of his luggage come back with strong readings for heroin.
In the multi-billion-dollar world of smuggling,
Child's car seat.
criminals will go to great lengths to get their contraband across the border undetected.
Bingo. Lots of white powder in there.
Whether it's concealed in huge shipping containers or hidden in small everyday objects, their methods are constantly evolving. Australian Border Force officers are aware that a recent method used by drug syndicates is to suspend illegal substances in liquid.
On the bowl of the bottle, you'll see like a dusty film on there.
There's something there.
Difficult to detect, this is a sophisticated procedure which involves drying out the liquid, leaving the narcotic residue behind.
Here you go. It's come up cocaine.
Today in Melbourne, Border Force officers are taking a suspicious package of beauty products to the air cargo workshop for further inspection.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about this one? Where's it from?
This is air freight from Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
Declared as face cleanser, so I think we need to x-ray this one.
Yeah.
The X-ray image reveals 8 individual containers inside the box.
The image seems fairly consistent with bottles, but the densities vary quite a lot, which is quite unusual.
That's unusual that it's lighter there and then quite dense in the middle there. So
I think we need to do some further testing.
Yeah, definitely. Let's open her up.
Once opened, officers immediately notice something unusual about the contents.
So we've got a receipt.
It's $1,824.
H2O. It's so really they're paying
water.
$1,800 for water, which seems very suspicious.
An inspection of the bottles does little to allay their suspicions.
Oh, that doesn't look right already.
That looks inconsistent straight away. There even appears to be some crystallisation occurring in this bottle.
Yeah, this one here, water wouldn't have crystals like that in there.
Border Force officers have stopped 2 passengers travelling from Vietnam, as the luggage from both men has returned a positive swab test for heroin.
He's very nervous at the moment. Iron scan tests of his luggage come back with strong readings for heroin.
A frisk search conducted on the first passenger has shown he is not carrying drugs on his body. Officers now want to know if the 2 men are connected and whether they are attempting to smuggle drugs across the border.
Check if he's travelling with anyone, because we think he might be travelling with this guy.
Yeah, I'll have a look. This guy's got previous drug convictions, and we're getting heroin readings.
This guy's got heroin readings as well.
2 men from the same flight with the same drug reading is an unlikely coincidence, so Officer Tim confirms the connection.
Do you know him?
Of course, I know him.
How do you know him?
We are friends.
How long?
long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I need to ask you a question.
Yeah.
We get heroin readings off your bag, yeah?
Huh?
We swabbed your bag, we get readings for heroin. So when you were in Vietnam, did you use heroin?
No.
I want you to think about the answer, all right? It doesn't matter to me if you've been overseas and you've used.
Yeah, I know.
That's cool. I need to know that.
Yeah, but no.
But no?
Yeah.
What about your friend, Doe?
I don't know him.
You don't know him?
Yeah. Because we go there, but he do, I don't know. But none of my business.
You travel with him?
Yeah.
Both men deny any contact with heroin, but the truth comes out when officers make an alarming find.
During the examination, we located a syringe in the pocket of one of his trousers. When we asked him what it was for, he said it was for heroin. Following up with that, he said he was a regular user and that he'd had trouble with the police before and that he'd been using it in Vietnam.
Officers now step up the investigation of both men.
Have you swallowed any heroin today?
At Melbourne's air cargo facility, Australian Border Force officers are inspecting the contents of some bottles sent from Hong Kong.
Well, that doesn't look right already.
Labelled as water, they suspect there may be something more inside.
You wouldn't get crystals like that in water.
Very suspicious, very unusual.
Suspecting the crystals may be narcotics suspended in the liquid, a Border Force detector dog unit is called in. The dog immediately sits.
Good boy.
With suspicion that the liquid is likely to contain illegal substances, it is taken to be tested with presumptive detection technology, which will help identify what kind of narcotic they are dealing with.
And then we go amphetamine.
That's what we want.
Exactly.
So we suspect that this water actually contains amphetamines. However, it is just presumptive testing and we can't be certain until forensic testing has been done.
A second narcotic test will be carried out to confirm that amphetamines are present in the water.
So with this test, we expect it to turn blue. Pop her in.
Oh, that's great. Dark blue colour. That's definitely meth in there. Good result.
I've found some information which does not support your reason for coming here to Australia being solely for tourism purposes, okay?
Australian Border Force officers do not believe that this young Malaysian man is here for just 1 week's holiday.
Are you looking for job opportunities here in Australia?
No.
But Ken is in for a surprise, as immigration has located a number of concerning text messages between him and a friend back in Malaysia.
Where you go. Your response is, go Australia, work. You serious? I said I will always be behind you, support you, but I'm leaving. Yes, next week. Promise me, please take care of yourself. Okay. When you come back, after 5 years. And then the response is so long. The contact on your phone is identified as Bosco. How do you know Bosco?
Actually, Bosco he owed me money. I tried to asking to return money, and then he say no money, and then busy, and then I just lied to him. I will go to Sydney for a few years, and then ask him bring return money for me.
Why would they return the money to you if you're going to Australia?
Because I just text to him, okay, I'm go to overseas, and then I don't have any income. So I just hope him return the money for my family members.
You wrote you wish to stay in Australia for a number of years.
Because I don't want to explain too much for him, so I just keep a life for him.
It's hardly a convincing explanation, but Officer Tim is willing to investigate further and establish if Ken has any commitments to return to back in Malaysia.
What is your occupation? What do you do for a living?
Shop manager.
Shop? Okay. If we contacted someone from your company, would they confirm that you are still an employee?
Sure.
Yeah?
Ken provides the details of his employer in Malaysia, and as the calls are made to investigate further, he appears to become nervous. The luggage of 2 men returning from Vietnam has tested positive for traces of heroin. And after officers found a syringe in one of the passengers' bags, he admitted to being a regular user of the drug.
They do have a number of indicators that suggest they fit the profile for drug couriers. So we're just going to use our body scan machine just to make sure that they haven't got anything concealed inside them.
Plenty of time to do your bag later and just read this for me, please. You want to ask why you're asking?
The passengers are now asked for consent to be subjected to an internal scan of their bodies. This will allow Border Force officers to determine whether they are attempting to smuggle drugs internally across the border.
If you're happy for us to do the search, you sign and date it, okay?
The body scan is just an X-ray inside the stomach. We use it as a tool to identify if the person has, swallowed any drugs.
The scanned image is sent for a doctor's interpretation.
Pretty much everything through both of their bags was positive for heroin. So until we get the confirmation from the hospital, the passengers are still under detention and they will have to wait until we get a final result.
The thorough examination is now complete and officers are satisfied with the outcome.
So we've got the results now and they're negative for any concealment. We've got a negative result as the passenger's now free to go.
Ken says he's only visiting Australia on a short holiday and claims he'll return to Malaysia in a week's time to recommence work. But officers have made a quick call to his employer.
Now, we've had a conversation with our colleague who's made 2 phone calls to employees of the company that he claims to be currently employed with. Both of those people have confirmed that he resigned on the 31st of March, which is different to what he has explained to you during the course of the interview.
But when Officer Tim confronts the passenger that he no longer has a job in Malaysia, he quickly changes his story, saying he now has a new job starting in a different country.
Actually, I found a job in Singapore. So I think before I go back to Singapore work, okay, I just come out for travel.
Can you verify that? Can you show me something that says that you intend to work in Singapore? Because officers who have inspected both your mobile phone device and this device have not found anything suggesting work in Singapore.
I don't have it because I just made a call to my boss and then my boss said just come back and work only.
Just a conversation?
Yeah, just make a call and say, okay, just go back to work, like that only.
No text messages, no emails, nothing?
No.
It's yet another unlikely story. And with the real possibility that Ken will overstay his visa and possibly work illegally, Officer Tim makes a decision.
After weighing up all the information available to me, I was satisfied that the grounds for cancelling your visa outweigh the reasons for not cancelling. Your visa has been cancelled. You are refused immigration clearance. You will also be detained and removed from Australia as an unlawful non-citizen.
Okay. So that means...
We need to make sure that persons crossing our border are here for the right reasons.
Biosecurity officers have referred this passenger who is returning to Sydney after a short trip to Vietnam as they have concerns over what he is carrying inside his luggage.
Basically, he went for a holiday. He's had a change of ticketing, so he's come back early. He has items in his bag that could be a risk to our border. There's some of the indicators we're looking at that he possibly could have a narcotic.
So I'm going to conduct a baggage examination.
Yep.
These are all your bags?
All mine.
Did you pack the bags yourself?
Yes.
Yep. So you know what's inside the bags?
I should do this.
You should, or you
I
do?
should. 100%. Yes.
Okay. What was the purpose of your
I've been
travel?
living with family.
Family?
Yeah, I've been there for over 30 years.
30 years, okay. 30 years is a long time.
It's been a while.
So what did you get up to in Vietnam?
Nothing much. Boring.
Boring? So are you married?
Yes,
And children?
2 kids.
Yes, they didn't travel with you to
No.
visit? No? Okay. What do you do for work?
Bus driver.
Bus driver? How much do you earn as a bus driver?
About 1,000.
1,000 a week?
About.
So that's enough to support you and your family
For now.
for now?
Having already declared that he knows 100% of the contents of his luggage, the man now asks a surprising question.
Can I ask you a question? What's
Sure.
in that bag?
You tell me what's in the bag, do you know?
I don't know.
Do you know what's in the bag? I asked you before. Is it a food
didn't
item?
ask me. I thought it was some kind of noodles. kind of
Noodles?
thing, yeah.
Where did you get them from?
My auntie gave it to me to give it to my auntie over here.
Your auntie over
So I
here.
wouldn't know what they are.
And she told you it was noodles?
Yeah, I thought it's just noodles.
As officers examine the 2 items which the man claims to be noodles, it appears that he is not telling them the truth.
It's really heavy. Oh, that one you think? Can you feel that? His behaviour is just really consistent with someone who's bringing something back. Just got to establish what that is.
Is it something serious?
I'm not too sure yet. We'll have to conduct some tests.
At this stage, there could be something in the food parcels themselves, but until we do further testing, we're not going to know.
A swab is now taken from the suspicious package to test for traces of illicit substances. Biosecurity detector dogs help intercept thousands of high-risk items each year, which potentially harbour dangerous diseases and harmful pests.
Whoa! You didn't notice all the ants on the fish when you come here to Australia? No?
A detector dog's sense of smell is thousands of times greater than that of a human, making them highly effective at locating organic matter.
Come on.
Today, in Sydney, detector dog Axel is about to go on duty. He will be screening the luggage of incoming passengers, including these travellers arriving from China. If Axel detects a target scent, he will stop and sit. Now the woman's luggage will need to be thoroughly inspected.
Bring your trolley with me, please. Come this way. The dog has smelt something in the bag. We're not sure what it is. So the dog handler has asked me to run it through the X-ray, and I can see organic images on the X-ray already. This item here, I would say it's a food item. I'm not sure what it is, but once I'll open the bag up, I'll know what it is.
The woman is travelling with her son, and they have both declared that they are not carrying any food or other organic matter.
Okay, I need to ask you some questions. Are these your bags?
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything else to declare at all?
I know.
Okay.
But on opening the bags, it's confirmed that detector dog Axel was correct.
This, food. You must say yes to food.
And the passengers have made a false declaration, which could incur a sizable penalty.
When he asked you the questions about any food, you said you understand, yeah? So this is food. Why did you say no?
A swab test taken from items belonging to this man returning from Vietnam has failed to show traces of illicit substances. But officers still hold concerns that the man has something to hide.
Have you ever had any trouble with narcotics or been in any trouble with the police? He's a little bit fidgety. His answers and responses aren't what we would like to hear. He's not confident. It could be this or it could be that, I'm not sure. So they're all reasons for us to look a little bit further. You told the officer that these are not your noodles.
Yes, that's right, that's not mine.
And who did the noodles belong to?
This one, I was gonna give it to my auntie on my wife's side, okay? The person that gave it to me is...
Who is the person that gave it to you?
It's her brother.
Okay, you obviously trust the brother to be bringing in...
Well, you see, because I wouldn't expect anything. I mean, like, he will ask you to bring, can you give this to her because it's family thing, and I thought it's food. So I thought...
Well, I hope you can trust your family members.
Well, if they're not, if you find something serious in there, my wife would be very upset.
Criminal syndicates have been known to prey on unsuspecting family members, using them to act as drug couriers.
What sort of noodles are they?
I wouldn't know.
So you're bringing in things from overseas and you don't even know what they are?
It's family. So
okay, they're in your possession. And you said you brought them out?
Yes, that's true. It is in my possession and all that, but I didn't know what they are.
Do you know how many times this happens to people standing like you are in this position? People have given them items of food.
Yeah.
And it turns out there's something in it. So at this stage, the officer's going to, unfortunately, she's going to go through all your sealed packages to make sure there's nothing in there, okay? I might just x-ray one of each. Can I take this one? Yep.
Officer Stella will now x-ray the suspect packages. If they're noodles, as the passenger claims, they will appear orange. But narcotics are a more dense type of organic matter and will appear green.
It's supposed to be noodles. Why is it green?
Thanks to the help of detector dog Axel, biosecurity officers have located undeclared food in the luggage of this woman from China.
This food. You must say yes to food.
And it's not just food that is being discovered, but what appears to be a bag full of wood chips.
It's an unidentified plant material, and because there's no label, it's not commercially packed. And it's got a bit of weeds in it, so it's contaminated.
And that is not the only concern.
We actually found a insect crawling on the bag, and we will send it off to our entomology lab to get further tested and to see, identify what type of insect we have. This goes to show why it's a very big risk to Australia, because it introduces exotic pests and disease.
And suspicions are raised further as more undeclared items are discovered to be stashed in some odd places.
Okay, anything inside here? This item concealed inside the kettle. There is a lot of organic material in there, lots of freshly cooked food items, and I'm a bit concerned as to why they would conceal this in their bags, but inside other containers.
With the officers suspecting that the passengers are deliberately hiding items, attention is turned to a black and white jacket that the mother was trying to avoid having inspected.
The passenger was reluctant for us to have a look at this jacket.
And close analysis of the X-ray indicates that there may be a further concealment of hidden goods.
Obviously, she must be hiding something in there, so we want to see what it is inside.
Each year, millions of overseas packages arrive at Australia's international mail centres. While most deliveries are legitimate, There are others that are cleverly used to smuggle a wide range of illegal items into the country.
There's definitely a concealment in there, yeah, you can feel it.
And although some concealments are extremely sophisticated,
we can see there's something shining in the weave in the fabric here.
Looks like we've got an alarm for cocaine.
other attempts are very basic.
So I'd expect to see body wash inside here, but immediately I can see some kind of package.
Today in Brisbane, Officer Warren is about to X-ray a parcel arriving from the USA, which has been referred to him for secondary inspection.
I can see why they referred this. There's a little bit of an anomaly in the middle of the package. Different colour, different texture to everything else that's around it, so we'll just open it up and have a further look and see what we can find in there. It's like a present for someone. There we go. Teenage Ninja Turtle Deluxe set. It's come out of Las Vegas in the United States. It's just like a child's toy set full of textures, pencils. I can feel a little bit of a lump here under the pad, so we'll just have a look at what's under there. And there it is. That's what we would have seen on the X-ray, hidden in underneath. It's just a foil packet. I can feel crystals inside the foil packet. I'll take that into the deconstruction room, have a look at what we've got and do some testing on it.
In Sydney, this woman has been caught smuggling in an item of major biosecurity concern.
This is bird's nest. I had a suspicion looking at the X-ray that it was bird's nest.
Edible bird's nest is made from the spit of a small bird and is considered a delicacy in Chinese cuisine, fetching up to $3,000 per kilogram. But its importation into Australia is strictly prohibited.
It's a deliberate concealment.
It definitely concealed. They didn't want us to find it.
That's right. It's a high risk coming into the country.
You know, we've had bird's nest, avianza, flu, not that long ago. This is what we're protecting our bird industry, our poultry industry. So bird's nest is the definite out.
And the situation becomes even more serious as yet another high-risk prohibited item is found to be concealed in the jacket.
Not only do they have bird's nest, we've got these cordyceps, which are probably straight out of a market area.
Cordyceps are a parasitic fungus used in Chinese medicine to improve sexual drive and virility.
And this poses a risk because of the bacteria contained in the item.
We've got some more bird's nest, which was also concealed in one of the bags over here, inside the clothing. And lying at the bottom of the bag under all the clothing, it's a whole fish. The heads are still on, the internal organs are intact. There's probably maggots crawling in and out of this right now.
Prohibited and infested items like these present enormous biological risks, which is why the penalties for their importation can be severe.
The thing that I'm worried about is that these items can be prosecuted. They can be prosecuted and it could go into the thousands of dollars. I have a hard decision to make right now, whether to fine them or to prosecute them.
And there it is.
Australian Border Force suspect that a silver package discovered taped to the underside of a child's drawing set contains a large amount of dangerous narcotics.
Now I will take this. I will weigh this and see what we've got here, how many grams we're talking about. Yeah, quite a lot there, looking at 64.7 grams. Here we have it, some beige crystals. I'm sure it's not a kid's toy. I'd hate to be trying to control the kid that's playing with that one.
A swab of the packet will help to determine if the substance is as deadly as it looks.
Right, there you go, it's methamphetamine. So you never know what you get. Based on the iron scan reading and the look of the product, we'll be referring this to the AFP.
This passenger returning from Vietnam has admitted to carrying unknown food items over the border for a family member.
I thought it was some kind of noodles. Thing, yeah.
X-rays normally show food items as orange-coloured, but when his package is scanned, there is a clear problem, as it's definitely not what he thinks it is.
It's supposed to be noodles. Why is it green? There's the rest of his food, which is quite consistent of food being orange, but why do you reckon it could be green?
Doesn't quite look like noodles.
Doesn't look like noodles, does it?
No.
Okay, these items of food look okay on the X-ray. Unfortunately, these do not.
Telling me the test.
It doesn't look normal. You've got an opportunity to let us. Do you want to tell us anything about these items?
No, as I said, I don't know what they are. I thought it was food given to me by someone.
By someone. You keep saying by someone.
Uncle.
By someone, it's telling me.
Because it means that it's not personally to me.
Why would you accept something?
It's a family. Yeah, obviously it's not look good. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because this is so ridiculous that if it comes out something which I'm
You're
honestly don't know anything about it.
As far as I'm concerned, that was your suitcase, your box. You told the officer you pack your bags yourself. You know what's inside.
I know what's inside, but I don't know what they are. It's a family thing. How could they do anything to me? So that's the only reason why I
ask you again, have you ever had any problems with the police? Have you ever dealt with narcotics? Have you taken narcotics in the past? Because we have some concerns, I'm going to caution you now that you do not have to say or do anything. Anything you say or do may be held in evidence. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I'm now going to take these and have them further tested, okay?
More tests?
More tests, okay?
Secondary testing will now be conducted to confirm what exactly is contained in these highly suspicious parcels.
Okay.
All good?
Fortunately for you today, it is good.
So what was it?
And
It's
you
striking, you guys.
were actually very lucky because somebody was able to identify this. It's actually seaweed.
Seaweed. Oh.
And it's heavily coated with salt. And that's what's giving the green appearance on our X-ray.
Okay.
Now, the confusion set in when you told quarantine officers, I'm carrying noodles.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You understand?
I didn't
You didn't know what you were carrying.
They are, yeah.
Now, what would you have done if I said that's full of heroin? And I could have come back and said that because you had no idea what was in your bag.
My heart would fall out, for sure, because...
You now wouldn't be going out to see your wife or your children. You'd be going to Mascot Police Station.
Well, thank you.
So for today, all the best. Thank you for your patience. And please be careful.
I still learned that lesson. I'm not gonna, in future, it's not gonna happen again.
Okay.
Take things. That's not right.
The man is now free to keep his seaweed and cross the border, having learnt a valuable lesson.
Thanks, guys.
They had the bird's nest hidden inside the bags.
Right.
And inside the pockets as well.
This mother and son arriving from China have been caught with a large amount of high-risk items deliberately concealed in their belongings.
The main concern for us is our agricultural industry in Australia, and having travelled before, they know the rules.
The passengers are now facing a large fine, even prosecution.
It's quite clear to me that you can actually speak English and you and I can communicate. So tell me, why did you not declare any of these food items on this card?
I don't know if this one.
Well, you have whole fish. You have bird's nest. This bird's nest was hidden inside your jacket. Why did you hide it inside the jacket?
I don't know what doing it.
Yeah. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. You're going to be fined $340 for not declaring these items. My colleague and I have discussed it. You're lucky you're not going to be prosecuted. The consequences can be much more than $340. That could be thousands, even imprisonment. Do you understand?
Yes.
What you did today was very wrong.
Okay.
With their exotic goods being confiscated, along with the cost of their fine, it's an expensive lesson for this mother and son.